Hey, good morning, students, especially you fourth graders incoming next year. I know it's been a crazy few weeks here, but we wanted to give you a little bit of a kind of a virtual tour of coming to the intermediate school. So I'm starting here on the bus because that's where many of you will begin next year. And we're going to walk our way from the bus to the building and around the building and just give you a little bit of opportunity to see how you will, as a fourth grade student next year, be part of our program. So hey, join me for our video. Hope you enjoy. All right, so if you're leaving the bus, as we just got off, you're gonna find yourself right here in front of the building. And you're gonna walk on down just basically to the front of the building here on the sidewalk, and you're gonna head down to the gym entrance. That's where all of our students come in the morning when you get off the bus or it's by parent pickup. So we're gonna head down to the gym entrance and gather our tour a little bit further from there. All right, see, we just walk on down the sidewalk. And by the way, before we get totally down to the gym entry, I want to recognize over here, and some of you are well aware, that we have a bus shelter building. And so at the end of the day, if you're going to be parent pickup, that's the area you would go to for the end of the day parent pickup. If you're in the morning and being picked up by parents, you're going to join us right here on this sidewalk. And this is right in front of the gym. There'll be some signs and some cones out here, and your parent will pull their vehicle up to this area, and you'll be dropped off right next to the sidewalk, and then you'll also go to the gym like everybody else. All right, guys, I know many of you know maybe where the intermediate school gym is at. Well, we're right here, and this is where you come in the building in the morning when you first arrive, again, either being off the bus or if you're going to be getting parent pickup. I think that's Mrs. Fitzpatrick. She's down there opening the door for us. So this is where we, again, come in the morning to begin our day each day at the intermediate school. So let's continue to walk our way. We're going to get into the building just another minute or two. Hey, good morning, Mrs. Patrick.
Good morning, Mr. Thacker. I am so excited to meet the new third graders. We've been waiting a long time for you guys, and we're hopeful that this little video will be helpful to kind of get a little bit of nerves out of the way, and hoping that you'll have a little bit of a sense of what to do that first day.
Hey, well, let's go on in. Let's kind of see where they begin once they get in the building here. Thank you for opening the door for us. We've got some great students that do that every morning also for us. So you come into the lobby of the gym. Some of you have been here before because you've been here maybe for other student athletic events, or maybe your own siblings have been here. So you know you come in at these doors. Again, let me show them this way to you. These are the main 4 doors by the gym we just entered in. That's how you come in every morning when you come to the building. And then as soon as you come in, you're going to go to your right. We head on down what's called the all-purpose room or the wrestling room. And Mrs. Fitzpatrick, by the way, is our social worker. She's going to talk about how you seat yourself when you come in this room, because a bell will ring at 8 o'clock, and you'll come in here for the first 11 minutes of the morning. So this is our big room, if you've not been in here before. It's also used by our wrestling groups. So this is our wrestling and all-purpose room. This is also the room we use for indoor recess if we can't get outside when the weather's bad. So Mrs. Fitzpatrick, tell us about the names on the floor over there.
Well, when you come in, you'll have to look for your teacher's name. And if you don't know your teacher's name, that's okay. We'll have an adult staff person here that will help you find the name. Once you find your name of the teacher, you will just go ahead and single file line up towards the back of the wall. Probably on that first day, you're going to have a lot of school supplies. You might have Kleenexes, you might have Clorox wipes. That's okay. Just put them down right where you're at and we'll make room. And then you'll just sit in here quietly waiting for dismissal. And you see that we'll have the names posted there on the floor for you to look. And if you have any questions, there's always a teacher here to help you with that.
Hey guys, one thing you'll find outside here in the hallway too, we have a lot of lost and found. I encourage you to really keep track of your items next year. This is just from the last probably 6-8 weeks of school before we got out for spring break. We have a lot of jackets still here, a lot of sweatshirts, even as you can see, some book bags and lunch sacks. So it's key for you to keep track of all your items when you come here. You will have a locker, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Hey, when you leave that lobby area by the gym, you walk on down this next hallway. This is our gym hallway. And so you'll go past a series of lockers. And we thought we'd just stop in the gym anyways, since we're going to where you'd be once the bell rings. But here in the gym, if you've not been in our gym at the Intermediate, it's a great space. A lot of activities take place. And you can see we have been doing some things already for summer cleanup since we started things back in spring break and we haven't been here. So we're starting to get some things done already, kind of in our summer mode. But a lot of activity takes place in here during the school days and school weeks. Ms. Fitzpatrick, kind of describe what will they experience in this area?
Well, just like at grade, you guys will have PE every day. Generally, your PE teachers are going to be Mr. Smith or Mr. Moore, and they're both great teachers. You will sometimes have some fun activities, some athletic activities. You'll learn a little bit more about soccer, about tennis, about volleyball. They do a lot of different things. And usually when you come in, you'll come in through the far doors that Mr. Thacker's looking at right now. You'll come in through there. You'll come in and you'll have a seat, and the guys will take you through some exercise, some warm-ups, and then you'll usually do a group activity. So it's a lot of fun, and it's really one of the highlights of the days for some kids.
All right, guys, we're going to move now to the hallway. So we're going to go back out as we just came in the door here. This is where you would exit out and go back to your classrooms. And then we have a stairwell and also a ramp. We thought we'd go up the ramp. You know, it's a little easier today. So we're going to kind of move ourselves all the way up to the top of the ramp. And we got a couple places we want to look at real quick. We're going to go to our left real quick, just in case you're following along by directions. And we're going to head into the band room. Now, as I mentioned, we're doing some summer cleaning. That's why you see racks of chairs, those type of things. We're a little early in that, but we're trying to get a few more things done so it's, again, clean and sanitized in our buildings. So this is our band room. And later from this video, there'll be an email coming to your parents to talk to them about signing up for band and how we're going to do that. We're going to actually have a virtual band sign up this year. So this is where this room would be the place you would go to if you joined the band. And again, that email that's coming to your parents about band signups will explain to them how we'll get you into the band room and be part of band if you choose to do that. It is a choice. You're automatically in the chorus program if you don't choose to do band. Okay, guys, hey, up the hallway from the gym area and the band room, which we just were in for a moment, we're going to head into the cafeteria. Great place, busy place, obviously. Not right now, again, because we're out of school, but this is the place we start lunch for everybody. And fourth grade, by the way, guys, next year you are first at lunch, and your lunch starts at 11 o'clock. Hey, what else do we want to talk to them about, Mrs. Fitzpatrick, about lunch next year?
When you come in for lunch, there are two doors. There's a boys' line, and then there's a girls' line, so you'll separate out that way. And you'll walk in, you'll get your items that you need if you're hot lunch, and you'll work through the lunch line. If you're cold lunch, you just get to sit down at one of the tables. The lunch ladies will talk to you about expectations and guidelines when you get here. It's probably very similar to how you did it at grade. We want you to sit by your friends. We don't have assigned seating, but once you do sit down, they ask that you stay there and you raise your hand for permission to get up. But all of those kinds of routines and guidelines will be talked about on your first day. So hopefully you'll enjoy this time. It's a time for you guys to be able to eat and then go out and have a little bit of recess after you're done eating.
Hey, recess. Let me show you where you head to recess, by the way. So when you're done with lunch, you basically get permission to leave by raising your hand. We kind of check the space to make sure it's clean before you leave. And there's typically some trash cans up here by the doors, and there will be a person here watching over those. You'll empty your trash in those trash containers. And then you're going to head out this door where Mrs. Fitzpatrick's headed out. And if the weather's good, and you'll know that in advance, you will head out to the back of the school, which is where our playground is at. Now, we are trying to make sure that's all good outside for you for next year, so we've planted some new grass. We're trying to get some things nice out here for you. Currently, the playground is closed because of the COVID situation, but this is where you come out. We have all kinds of activities usually taking place, both on the sets of swings and slides, but also we have room for some mini football games, some basketball games on the basketball court. We also have a small soccer field, so a lot of activities for that quick recess time, kind of burn off some energy before you get back into the classroom. And then out here we have two supervisors who will be taking care of you, and they will make sure things are in good control out here. And if you have any questions, you can always work with them as you're having some time at recess. All right, guys, I've jumped in the course room. This is right off the area next to the cafeteria and when you come from the playground. So this is Mrs. Johnson's basically home. She will have chorus class in here from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. And it's a great opportunity to continue building your musical skills. Again, you're automatically in chorus class unless you choose to be in band. And again, more information is coming on band. Thank you. Hey guys, also right out here, I'm in the hallway again. We've gone through the cafeteria, gone through the playground, and came in the double back doors. This is typically your teachers will meet you at these double back doors when it's time to come up from recess. Well, then if you come on down the hall, we enter into the hallway next to our library. So we're going to take a walk down this library hallway. And we have various classrooms on each side of the hallway. Some of our special ed students meet in some of these classrooms. And then also 6th grade on down the hallway straight ahead of us. But right here to the left is another great space, another great area of room. It's called, obviously, our library. A little different than grade, but this is a great place that Mrs. Weigel does some wonderful lessons for library, and also right next to her is the computer lab. So you can see our library right here. Mrs. Fitzpatrick, anything you want to add about the library?
You will have library once a week with Mrs. Weigel. She does lots of group activities. You'll always have a chance at the end or at the beginning of class to check out the books. We do accelerated reader here in the building, so that's where you will be able to access a lot of the books to get those AR points. And she's really great at pointing you in the right direction. If you have a certain series that you're looking for, or a certain genre of reading, of literature, she will talk you to that, take you to the right place and kind of work through some books that you might enjoy. Reading is a really important thing, and Mrs. Weigel does a great job with helping us develop good readers.
For sure. All right. All right, right at the end of the hallway by the library is our 6th grade pod. Our pods are our locations where grade levels are at. So this is the 6th grade. All the pods are the same. When I say that, they're all lockers in each of the pods, and then we have classrooms in each of the pods. So this is 6th grade. I'm going to walk you in this just for a minute. We don't have the classrooms open at this point in time. You will see 4th grade classrooms and be able to get inside of those in a moment. But this is just the 6th grade pod. And again, you can see it's pretty well laid out. There's still a lot of good things on the wall from student work. And we're going to be working through this area in the next few days with teachers to kind of get ready to go for closing out our year. All right, guys, we are now coming to the hallway toward the front of the building. And so we're walking this way. Some very important things taking place in this hallway, like in every hallway in the building. For example, coming up on our right is our science lab. 4th grade, there are times your teachers will take you in there to do certain projects and activities in science-related areas. I think it'll be a great place that you'll enjoy. Sometimes those science activities are in kits, and they'll bring this to your classroom. I want to give you a peek inside, though, our science lab, just to get an idea of what it's like if you've never been in there, have not seen this room. Again, it's a great activity place. 5th grade, 6th grade, they really enjoy this place. 6th grade science classes spend more time in here as they'll do experiments and different lab work in this great science lab activity area. Right across the hall, by the way, guys, is Mrs. Fitzpatrick's office. She, again, is our social worker. Mrs. Fitzpatrick, anything you want to say about what you do and how you serve our students?
Oh, Mrs. Baker, probably from Mount Zion Grade, and I am like Mrs. Baker, just over here at the intermediate school. I have certain kids that I meet with during the week, during the day, to kind of help support them in many different ways. So if you see me in my office, make sure to wave and say hi.
All right, we're going to head on down past Mrs. Fitzpatrick's office, and we're going to head to the 5th grade pod. Hey, by the way, I'm walking by bunches of lockers, you can see. Every student gets a locker, including you guys in 4th grade. The only thing you have to do is work on how to do combination locks. If you don't know what those are, you can ask your parent. They're not overwhelming. It'll take a little bit of time if you've never used a lock before, but we'll get it all figured out with you in the first couple weeks of school. All right, again, here we're at the 5th grade pod. I'm going to walk you in there just for a moment so you can see the 5th grade pod. Again, like 6th grade, this is where all the classrooms, or the majority of the classrooms are for the grade level. Sometimes there's one class that's not in the pod just because we have larger number of students in that grade level. So this is 5th grade. It's a little bit more cleaned out because some of the staff has been in and taken a few things off the walls for us. But this is where the 5th grade teachers and students gather. You can see, by the way, these big racks. right here. Let me walk a little closer to it. If you're in band, when you bring your instrument to school every day, we use these big racks to put your band instruments in or on top of. It's a way to store those when you're here at school and when you go to band class. All right, guys, leaving the 5th grade pod gets us right here in the front of the building. If you look all the way down, you'll see the 4th grade. Before we get there, though, we're going to stop at a couple quick things real quickly in the front of the building. And I say front because this is where, if your parents are coming into the building, once they have released you, this is the front doors for guests and parents and visitors. These are also the doors that you will exit when it's time to load the buses in the afternoon or do parent pickup. Again, you go out these doors, you don't come in these doors in the morning. Okay, so right across from the main entry is our office areas. So we're going to take a quick walk in there because some key people are part of our office staff, and I want you to get to see a few things going on in the office in case you ever need to come in the office area. All right, Ms. Fitzpatrick, can I just share real quickly, what about our office needs to take place when students come in here?
Well, if you come in here and you have a question, Miss Amy or Miss Penny will be happy to help you. Sometimes you'll come in the morning with attendance. You would put attendance right over here. On the orange check sheet, you will put attendance there. And then they're here to help if anything that you need. If you have questions, sometimes teachers might send you down to the office with an errand or a question or something like that. So they're great ladies and they will help you out in any way that they can. Mrs. Lukenbill's office is our school nurse, and she is here in the afternoons. So if you're not feeling well, if she's not here, the secretaries will help kind of tend to you and see if they can figure out how to help. But in the afternoons, after I think around 11 o'clock or 11:30 or so, Mrs. Lukenbill comes in and she's our nurse and she will help you out with things. Sometimes kids in 4th grade are still losing teeth, and so she helps with those kinds of things. And she's really great to work with as well, and she'll do a good job to help you guys in any way that you need.
Hey, by the way, in the back is my office. I like to see students in my office for all good things, but if you're going to find yourself doing some things that are bad, I really don't want to see you in my office because, you know, we got to have those difficult conversations. So just make good choices when you come in. I mean, look, right up here in the front of the office, we keep a very important theme. Be ready, be responsible, be respectful. You follow those 3 things, we're in good shape. You can come in anytime in my office you want to for those areas because we'd love to have conversations regarding that. So the office is a busy place, a lot of activity going on. And again, great people that are part of our process in the office. And just a side note, here in the left side of this is actually a little sneak passageway to Mrs. Fitzpatrick's office. Keep that as a secret. All right, guys, save the best for last. This is the 4th grade pod. So we're going to take our time walking through the 4th grade pod. Again, we wish you could do this personally, but obviously with all going on in schools being unable to have students right now, I hope this is the best kind of way you can get a feeling about the 4th grade. We're going to stop at each classroom, give you a look a little bit inside, also kind of recognize the current teacher in that classroom. So our first stop here is Mr. Garadini's class in 402. Sometimes his students and sometimes himself calls himself Mr. G. So if you're in Mr. G's class, Mr. Garadini's class, he's right here at the beginning of the 4th grade pod. And you can see he's already got some things ready to go a little bit for the closing of this year and also for next year. Here's a quick look at this first class area. We're going to go back out of his room and keep on moving through the 4th grade area. And we go next to Mr. Heights. He is also one of our key teachers here in the 4th grade department. I'll give you take a look at Mr. Heights, who he is, in case you don't know. And again, he's in room 408. We'll take a quick little peek inside his classroom. He keeps fish, by the way, in his classroom. I think they're doing okay, even though he's not in too often. So far they've gotten bigger. I guess maybe they're self-feeding. I don't know. So here's Mr. Heights' classroom. A lot of activity, a lot of good things of learning going on in here. Okay? All right. Guys, we're going back out to the pod. And again, taking a little bit of look. Whose classroom is next, Mrs. Fitzpatrick?
Mrs. Current is in room 407. She's in the corner classroom over here. She's got double windows, which is nice. And you can see in her classroom, she's Got lots of sunlight in her room. It's a great classroom. So if you get Mrs. Current, you'll enjoy her. We have lots of great fourth grade teachers in the building.
And she has one of these nice new fancy BenQs that students and staff are using for a lot of electronic and technology learning. I think you'll see some great things take place in here with that. And more teachers are getting these devices over the next few weeks and months. All right, back out of the fourth grade pod. Got a few more quick classrooms to get into. Appreciate you staying focused with us here. Hopefully you're enjoying. So next is, who is this? 406. Who's this?
Mrs. Gerhart. Mrs. Gerhart. So it's kind of like Mrs. G. We have a Mr. G, Mr. Giardini, but this is Mrs. Gerhart. And she has a nice big window that you can see out that has Fletcher Park view. Looks like she's got lots of supplies already ready on the desk.
Yeah, textbooks are laid out and everything, huh?
Yeah, she looks like she's pretty prepared already. She's a little bit ahead of the game.
Wow, very nice.
It is a very nice classroom.
All right, guys, we're going to take ourselves back out to the fourth grade pod. Here we go. We've got, looks like Mrs. Stock's classroom over here, 405. We're going to sneak in, just take a look inside her room. I think she's a Peanuts fan. What do you think?
I think she must be.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I should think she must be.
Yes. Yeah. All right. And again, this is right at the corner of our building, so she sees a lot of the buses pull up and student activity and traffic out there. Also, she looks out her window, she can see Fletcher Park, which is always a great space. Sometimes our PE classes go to, or end-of-the-year field trips take place in. All right, again, a couple more rooms here, guys. Who's next?
Next is room 404, Mrs. McLeod. And her window faces the front of the building, and you can kind of see the junior high building out of her window. I think this year you can see that she had a cactus theme. She's got lots of cactuses and lots of fun things. I wonder what the theme will be next year. So if you're in Mrs. McLeod's room, you'll have to think about, guess what kind of theme she'll have next year. Maybe she'll keep it the same, maybe she'll change it.
Always a fun place like all the rest of fourth grade classroom. A lot of fun learning takes place in these rooms, guys. I know you'll enjoy it. All right, I think this is our last group so far, our last classroom, and that is who?
Mrs. Pygott in room 403.
All right, she's got some books stacked up on her tables, or desktops look like.
She's ready. She's got two windows, and this is, you can see the pull-up. When buses dismiss, she's got a great view of buses, and so you'll kind of know when your bus is coming. You'll have a little bit of a heads up on that. She's got some nice leather chairs in here, Mr.
A lot of times students get a chance to go over there and do some extra reading.
Yeah.
Some AR reading, but also some time they have some quiet space they need to get to. There's another one of those BenQ, folks. I hope you enjoy those when you get in the building again and join us. And we're back out here to the fourth grade pod. We're kind of almost near the end of our time together, but I hope you've had a chance to see some of our rooms, the fourth grade pod, and again, the building overall. Hey, we're here throughout the summer, and if, we get an opportunity, if we get some relaxation in the rules and guidelines about distancing, it might be a chance we'll get some people in the building to help you out a little further. If not, then we'll just see you in August and help you get around the building. A lot of people here to help you. We're going to do our best to make sure you feel comfortable coming in that first day when we get there. And again, I mentioned this previous in our time together, but we're going to be sending your parents an email with some information about band sign up for fourth grade. So please make sure they're looking forward to that. It might even be the same day of email this will come out to you. So we want to thank you for kind of joining us today. I want to thank Mrs. Fitzpatrick coming in today to help us kind of narrate and move through the building. It's a great building. I think you'll thoroughly enjoy it, and we're looking forward to having you next year. Anything you want to add before we close, Mrs. Fitzpatrick?
No, just have a great summer, and we really are looking forward to the new class of fourth graders here. I always love seeing the new faces and getting to meet new kids. So have a great summer, stay healthy and stay safe, and we will see you in all.
All right, guys, have a great afternoon, whatever time you're viewing this, and we will, again, look forward to seeing you soon. Bye now.